it resembles really something like a penne. So we're going to make it for you today from scratch, and you can do it right in a food processor. So you want to start with 3 large eggs. If your eggs are small, you're going to have to add an extra egg, or you're going to have to add some water to the mix if it's too dry. So let's start with 4 eggs because these are small. This looks like a large egg in the carton, but it really isn't. So I'm gauging this from experience that I know I'm going to need an extra egg, but normally 3 large eggs. So we whirl this up with a little bit of salt. Put a pinch of salt in there and put your top on. Whirl up the eggs until they're a bit foamy. And then you can stop. And we want to add some Parmesan cheese. Parmigiano Reggiano, also a product from Emilia-Romagna. It comes in a wedge like this, and you can identify it by the name on the label, Parmigiano Reggiano. You want about 2 tablespoons of that. And then we want a little bit of nutmeg, because in northern Italy, they do use nutmeg in a lot of their recipes. And then you want about 2 1/4 cups of flour. So we're going to gauge this because we don't know if the eggs will take all this flour. So put a little bit of it in and let it go to see where you are. So it's soupy, you know you need to add more flour. And I know that I'm probably going to add all of this. So this was about 2 1/4 cups. I may have to add a little bit more. Let's put this in and see where we are with this. This dough should really go around the blade and pick up most of that so that it cleans the sides of the bowl. Let it go a couple times. This saves a lot of arm action. If you had to do this by hand, you'd be doing this for a while. And the reason we're doing this particular dough is because in northern Italy, most pastas are made with eggs and flour, unbleached all-purpose flour, as opposed to the south of Italy, where pasta is made with water and semolina, no eggs. So when it's in a nice ball like that, you want to let it rest. We have a rested dough right here, and you can see how that has changed color by just resting. You don't want to roll it out wider than the roller on your pasta machine, so that's wide enough. Gets longer as you make it thinner, of course. Okay, that's enough of that. So now we have our dough, and let me show you how this goes. We want to trim this. You're going to use those scraps again. You'll re-roll them. Do you want to cut the dough? I gauge this into about 2-inch strips. So I'll cut it down the center like this. This is a Garganelli board. And you can find them. You can go online and you can find them. Originally, this pasta was made on hemp looms, and they would roll around a bobbin or a stick, something like this, and they would press and roll around. Needless to say, this is a time-consuming job, but it really is an old-fashioned traditional pasta, and it's really worth making. All right, here is our melted butter, and we have the prosciutto di Parma, 1/2 pound of it, already minced up. We're going to put that right in our pan. This is a very rich tasting dish, the Garganelli. So we're going to get this soft. This doesn't take long at all. You just want to get a little bit of a, you don't want these to be crispy, you just want to soften them a bit. So get it going in the butter. Meanwhile, you have your pasta pot going, 4 to 6 quarts. This isn't going to take as long to cook as, let's say, dried pasta, because fresh pasta cooks much faster than dried pasta does. So we'll get this cooked down right in there. Let me add the ones that I just made to show you. And we're going to let this come back to a boil. Add the 2 cups of heavy cream. I know what you're saying, but you're only eating this as a first course. This is a first course. You're not having this as dinner. So about 4 ounces of this is going to be a serving. And you let this cook until it reduces oh, a couple minutes or so. You want them to be nice and tender, which they are, so we can drain them. And they're going to be drained right into that sauce, right into this sauce. So let me get them out for you. Beautiful. You want most of that water off because you're putting them into this nice cream sauce. In they go. Let's get every one of them. Okay, good. This is an elegant, elegant first course. And of course, the food in Emilia-Romagna, if you know anything about that area, you know is very, very rich. So a little bit more cheese now goes on, and then we can give this a little pepper, and we're ready to serve this. So a little black pepper goes on. Again, another toss in that cream. Toss it all really well. And now it's ready to eat. So we can take it out of our pan. Turn that off. And get it right over here.